The secret of the golden yams. The savannah was singing a song of dust. For months, the rains had forgotten the earth, leaving the animal kingdom weary, and their stomachs whistling for a crumb. Yet, amidst the parched grass, Barnaby the dog was a mystery. His coat was glossy, his tail had a Johnny wag, and his cheeks were as round as a harvest moon. Terence the tortoise, whose shell felt far too big for his shrinking frame, squinted at his friend. "Barnaby, old pal," Terence said, his voice a dry rasp. "We've shared many a bone. Tell me, how is it that I'm fading away while you look like you've been feasting at the king's table?" Barnaby shifted his paws nervously. "Just cardio, Terence. Brisk morning walks. Hard work is its own reward." Terence wasn't buying it. He knew Barnaby's brisk walks didn't usually involve a heavy basket and a guilty backward glance. The shadow in the dust. The next morning, before the sun had even kissed the horizon, Terence was a shadow among shadows. He trailed Barnaby across the scorched plains until they reached the lush, forbidden borders of the human settler's farm. From behind a leafy shrub, Terence watched in awe. Barnaby wasn't just walking. He was a master thief. He dug into the rich, dark soil and unearthed yams that glowed like gold in the early light. "Aha!" Terence announced, popping out from his hiding spot. Barnaby nearly jumped out of his fur. "Terence, you shouldn't be here. This is wrong. I only take what I need to survive, but the farmer, he has ears like an owl." "Nonsense." Terence chuckled, already reaching for a tuber. "If nature provides, Terence resides. Let's get to work, partner." The weight of greed. Day after day, the duo returned. But while Barnaby took just enough to fill his belly, Terence began to build an empire of yams. He brought bigger baskets. He worked slower, selecting only the largest, heaviest roots. "Terence, look at the shadows," Barnaby whispered one afternoon, his ears twitching at every rustle of the wind. "It's 17:45. The farmer finishes his tea soon. We need to go." "Just one more," Terence grunted, straining as he piled another yam onto his overflowing mountain. "A tortoise must plan for the future, Barnaby. Don't be so timid." "Greed has a heavy price, Terence," Barnaby warned, his tail tucked between his legs. "If we can't run, we can't win." The abandoned harvest. The following day, the air felt heavy. At 17:30 sharp, the dog stood up. "The wind has changed. I'm leaving, Terence." "Now?" "5 more minutes." Terence pleaded, buried chest deep in a hole. Barnaby didn't wait. He knew the rhythm of the farm, and he knew the sound of the farmer's heavy boots approaching. He hoisted his modest bag and vanished into the tall grass. "Wait, Barnaby," Terence shouted, trying to lift a basket that weighed more than his own shell. Thud. It wouldn't budge. "My friend, help me. It's too heavy. I'm stuck." But only the wind answered. Barnaby was gone, racing toward the safety of the woods with a heart full of regret. Suddenly, a giant shadow loomed over the hole. The farmer, with a net made of sturdy rope, looked down at the greedy intruder. "Caught you at last, little thief."